Dandelion Princess here, and welcome back to Imp Headquarters. Today I wanted to take a bit of a closer look at the new music video, Just Look My Way, as this thing is riddled with little details and a bunch of symbolic things to analyze, much like Blitz's trip sequence in True Seekers was. So I'm going to do my best to give you guys my interpretations for some of these details. And keep in mind, this isn't something that I normally do. I haven't even fully broken down Blitz's trip sequence, just because I feel like things like this are a massive undertaking. But with Just Look My Way, after only a couple times of watching it, I found myself analyzing it just very organically. So yeah, I figured I'd give it a shot. With that being said though, please do bear with me, because I know for a fact that I'm not going to catch all of these details, and this is all just my interpretations, but here we go. First off, let's start with the colors, because they do hold a significance. When talking about the Constellation silhouettes, the first one we see is a golden Blitz, who seems to be a lot more affectionate towards Stolas. To me, this definitely represents Stolas' ideal version of Blitz. This is how Stolas sees Blitz. Much like how in Blitz's trip sequence, we got to see how Blitz perceives Stolas. This is the side to Blitz that Stolas fell in love with and is constantly chasing after. Then we have the Stolas Constellation silhouette, which is blue, and the true Blitz Constellation silhouette, which is red. These colors have been associated with Blitz and Stolas for a long time now, not only because they are opposites and represent how different the two are, but this also represents their true selves. Blitz closing himself off to the world and everybody who cares about him, and Stolas constantly trying to find a way in. Blitz's bubble is also pure black, while everything else is a starry background. To me, this is very intentional, showing that while Blitz feels safe in his bubble, closed off from everybody else, it is actually very toxic. Also, throughout the video, Blitz is constantly either replacing the full moon or being replaced by the full moon, very much showing them to be one and the same, which is super cool for a couple of reasons to me. One, Blitz being represented by any planet at all. For one, we know that Stolas has a lot of control over planets and moons, and anything space related. So Blitz being represented by the moon shows the immense amount of power Stolas has over Blitz. Because Blitz needs Stolas' grimoire for his business, he has kind of always been at the mercy of Stolas. But it doesn't stop there. This motif gets even cooler, because it's double-sided. It shows the immense power Stolas has over Blitz, but on the other hand, it also shows the immense power Blitz has over Stolas. Throughout the video, we see that Stolas can't really obtain the moon, even when it's small and within the palm of his hand. Eventually, he lets it go, and it flies away, leaving him to follow it. Point is, despite all of Stolas' power, he can't truly obtain the moon, just as he can't truly obtain Blitz the way they are right now. Secondly, there is a lot of water motifs throughout this video, which again serves to show the opposite of Blitz, because Blitz is mainly represented by fire, and fire has definitely been something that has been Blitz's downfall. Not only that, but Blitz has always been very hot-tempered, and with a fiery, bombastic personality. On the flip side, we have Stolas, who has a lot of pain, just like Blitz, but a different kind of pain, one represented by water. He is drowning in his depression, while Blitz's suffering is very loud and bright. Stolas' suffering is quiet and, for the most part, unnoticed, much like how drowning can actually be. But to tie this all back to the moon symbolism, the moon does a lot of things, one of which is controlling the tides. Blitz is Stolas' moon, which not only represents the power Blitz has over Stolas, but it is an indication that Blitz has the power to either save Stolas from his suffering or let the water overtake him. Also, just to take it back a little bit, I believe that seeing Stolas walk on water in the beginning represents a couple of things. One, it represents how close he is to drowning on a regular basis. It also represents how his pain is often unseen because he seems to be walking and functioning just like normal. Again, this is another amazing representation of depression because it is very much underneath. Also, masking is a very real thing that both Stolas and Blitz do. Stolas leaping from the water, trying to get to the moon, again is just another show of how Blitz is unobtainable to him, but also Stolas' desperate attempt to get away from his pain. It's definitely pretty clear within the series that Blitz helps Stolas a lot to forget his problems, and their full moons together tend to represent for Stolas the one night he can forget about his pain. Another detail that I love is how Stolas dismisses the earth in favor for the moon, representing how he favors Blitz over his responsibilities and duties, also his willingness to give up the world just to hang on to Blitz. And the last thing I want to touch on is pretty obvious compared to some of the other stuff, but is no less cool in my opinion, is the String of Fate. Now, to Stolas, this connection we see represents their binding contract for the Grimoire, which is obviously why he wants to cut that string, despite the fact that he will most likely lose Blitz completely without that tether. On the other hand, for Blitz, I don't think this connection actually represents the Grimoire deal. I think this is indicated because the string on Stolas' half is blue like him, and the string on Blitz's half is red like him, sorta indicating that the string means two different things to both of them. For Blitz, I think it just means his overall connection with Stolas. I mean, come on, let's be real. We all know that Blitz does care about Stolas, and that he is most likely going to see Stolas breaking their deal with the Grimoire as a betrayal. Don't get me wrong, I definitely think Stolas is doing the right thing in the long run. Blitz just isn't going to see it that way though. Anyway, you guys, that is my interpretation of some little details within this music video. Just some motifs and symbolism that I really liked. But I want to know, did you guys interpret any of this stuff any differently than me? Did any of you catch anything that I didn't? Definitely let me know down in the comments. Thank you guys all so much for watching, and see you guys next time.